What is the area of the triangle above? All right, cool. So I see a 60-degree angle. All right, let's get the red pen out. All right, so I see a 60-degree angle there, 90-degree angle there, and that tells me this has to be 30. And now the reason I know this has to be 30 is because everything has to add up to 180. So 30 plus 60 is 90, 90 plus 90 is 180. And now keep in mind, they love testing you on 30, 60, 90s on this test. They give you this special right triangle on the first page of the section, but it's nice to have it memorized, and that should be a 2x. So this side is x, that's 2x, and that's x root 3. And always remember, whatever the side is that's opposite of the 90 is always 2x. The side that's opposite of 30 is always x, and the side opposite of 60 is always x root 3. Okay, so that's kind of what's happening over here. Now see this 60, that's this explanation, I don't know if I said this already, but this explanation does get a little bit messy. So I'll try my best to keep it as straightforward as I can. So see how this side is 3 right there? And that corresponds to the x root 3 there. But before I go on, let's figure out the question is saying what is the area of the triangle, right? And the area of a triangle is 1/2 times base times height. So I have to know what the base is and I have to know what the height is. Height I already know, the height is 3, because it tells me that. So the only thing that's left to figure out is that x right there. So once I figure this out, I should be able to get to the final answer. So this is what I was getting to before. See how that 3 corresponds to that x root 3? And there's that missing x that I need to figure out. So what I can do is x root 3, I can set that equal to 3. So I just set that 3 equal to the x root 3, and all I'm going to do at this point is just solve for that x. And I'm going to solve for that x by dividing both sides by root 3. So that cancels out. You're left with x equals 3 over root 3. So now I know what that x is. That x right there is, let's get the color, that x is 3 over root 3. And again, all I did to find that x was just set that 3 equal to that x root 3, and then I was able to solve for it. Okay, now let's get to the formula. The formula is 1/2 times base times height. Now my base is, we already said the base, well, the base is 3 root 3. That's what we just figured out. The height we already said is 3. So it'll be area equals 1/2 times my base, which is 3 over root 3 times 3. And let's make this parentheses a little bit better looking one. So let's multiply all, there's an imaginary one down here, right? So let's multiply all my numerators. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 2 times root 3 is just 2 root 3. Now, that doesn't look like any of the answer choices. So if you already guessed that we have to rationalize this, that's exactly what we need to do. I'm not going to get into the details of why, but in math, you usually do not have radicals in the denominators. You want to get rid of those. The way you get rid of that is by multiplying both sides, the numerator and the denominator, by that same exact thing. So I'm multiplying top and the bottom by root 3, just because I don't want that radical 3. Don't ask yourself why, don't question it, just remember that for this particular test especially, is you don't want denominators being in radicals, so you multiply numerator and the denominator by that. And let's check out what happens now. 9 times root 3 will just be 9 root 3. Now in the denominator, root 3 times root 3. The square roots cancel out, because root 3 times root 3 is root 9, and root 9 is just 3. So root 3 times root 3, the roots just cancel out. You're left with just 3 right here, and then that's 2 times 3. So root 3 times root 3 will give you 3, and then 2 times 3 will give you 6. So this is the new thing. Now the 9 and the 6 we can reduce down. 3 goes into both of them. 3 times 3 is 9, and 3 times 2 is 6, making my final answer 3 root 3 over 2, which is over here, which is B. I could have also rationalized this over here, which could have made it a little bit easier. I'm not sure it would have, but if you are wondering if you could rationalize it over here, yeah, you could have figured out the base over here and rationalized it over here as well. It would have been the same thing. Tough problem, but I have seen this problem pop up a good amount of times, and that's it. Hey, watch the video one or two more times. Try doing this problem yourself without watching this. Put everything away. I'm telling you, that's the best way to learn. It does get a little bit messy and complicated here, so hopefully I got it across.